not the. Here we go.
Oh, welcome, warrior. Here we are together. L and L, as I like to say, Mrs. L and Lionel. Yeah. I wanted to speak with you and share. I want to hear your thoughts on.
Can you hear us? Can you hear us all right? Give us a 5x5. Can you hear us? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. You know how they get, honey.
Okay. Well, I'll wait. It lags a little bit to get a 5x5. But there are two things I wanted to talk to you all week about. We've been so incredibly busy. We haven't really discussed it too much. And the first thing would be, I wish somebody would check in and say, just before we start, they can hear us. I guess we can check ourselves if we can hear.
I'll check ourselves.
Okay. But I'm going to keep talking.
Keep talking.
And that talking is, and we must continue talking about these two things. We must continue with the Epstein case, and we must continue. I want to talk about this groundbreaking trial. This will be week 4 coming up in LA. Big tech on trial, holding Meta responsible, product liability for Facebook and Instagram, knowingly putting out a product that harms children. When they have internal memos, they have whistleblowers, they have psychiatrists, psychologists, doctors, they have parents. The most important thing here is, though, they have witnesses that will attest to. They've worked at Meta. They brought up there were harms to children. They came forward. They were silenced. Everything's in writing. They have a lot in writing. So I want to talk about this case because I don't really see how a Mark Zuckerberg, who testified for, I think it was 8 hours the other day, like, tell me what their strategy is, because now we have the whistleblowers. We have the internal memos. We have that they knew. We have statements from them, these internal memos. They knew they were harming kids, like they were admitting to it. But their job was to keep kids online. They said kids are like a herd. They'll follow anything, do anything. And their object was just eyeballs and money. So as a lawyer, can you give us a little bit of a breakdown of the case and explain where you think this might even go?
For the first time, they almost put this in the same category as tobacco, where you knowingly put into commerce, into the stream of commerce, a product that you know somehow is defective, that hurts people, that harms people. You were made aware of it. You were made, how do I say this? You were made aware of it. You were put into the position of understanding and knowing ahead of time of what this was. This is critical news. Up to now, people thought, well, maybe it's the parent's responsibility. It's not addictive. It's not really like a drug. This changes everything. This is a game changer. How many of you friends listen, thinking, let's see, how many vote? Is social media, do you believe it is addictive, especially as to children? 1 for yes, 2 for no. Let's see, start voting. What do you think, my friends? What do you think?
Yeah, I want to see what everybody says. And also, thank you, Edie. I always forget to say hit the like button.
The best, Edie.
Edie's always on top of that for us. April says number 1. Edie says number 1, but Edie is always there to remind everybody because I actually forget.
Okay? But they agree it's addictive.
But
number 1, we're voting.
Well, I want to tell you, while they're voting, I'm talking. I was with a group of, I want to say, women today, in the age ranges of, I'll say 30 to 40. And I was talking, they were asking me questions, and I was talking about these issues and addiction to the internet and kids. And they all said to me, thank you, Lori Lewis, super sticker. There's Lori.
There's Lori.
What a warrior. Well, thank you, Lori.
Damn, Lori.
Lori, thank you very much. You know that goes into
right arm.
Supporting our survivors and our education programs. But anyway, let me get back to it. Thank you, Lori. That's very humbling and beautiful. With this group of women, okay, and they all said the same thing to me. They're like, we're talking about the kids because we at the Warriors, we work with children, but really all of this applies, what we talk about, to everybody. They're like, but look at the adults, Lynn. They're all addicted. And I said, we live our lives most people, right? Online, we use apps to order things, apps all over the place. So now we've got the kids who, we're not blaming these poor kids and adults. We've just been thrown into this digital world, right? We've been the guinea pigs. And it's not the kids' faults, because this group today was asking me about oh, it's shocking. Kids are exchanging nude images of themselves. And I said, now, wait a minute here. They've grown up in this digital bubble. Like for them, take yourself out of it. It's normal for them. Like they don't know. It is our job now to really educate them. But it's such a complex issue. And I want to get back though to really about this court case because this is groundbreaking. Now we have warrior survivor parents that have been there for the past 3 weeks.
And that you've been talking to
oftentimes. Yes, who've been texting me from the courthouse, from the trial, been filling me in. It's overwhelming for some of them. They want to be there. They want to speak up. They all say the same thing to me. We must warn other parents. We don't want what happened to our, children to happen to any other children. It can be cyberbullying. It can be eating disorders. It can be sextortion. And it can be the ultimate, they're not here anymore. Okay. We have algorithms. So I'm just going to say it that way. And they really are representing all the parents, which number in the thousands across America, thousands who can't come out and show their faces. Their lives have been destroyed. Their families have been destroyed. The siblings of those no longer here. We work with a lot of them. And this really is a groundbreaking, right? We've never been able to hold big tech accountable for anything. They're just a runaway train. Big lobbyists in Washington, lots of money, right? Everybody knows this. So this group, they are there. But the thing is now they have the memos. And you know what? They have all this because some brave people who worked at these companies, right? These big tech companies, they could ethically, they will explain, no longer work there, or they were let go when they made a fuss about things, or they were shushed and said, that's not your job. We'll take it up the chain of command. And it's interesting because all of them said, we'll talk about Meta right now because Mark Zuckerberg was just, on the stand. They all said the same thing. They never heard actually from Mark Zuckerberg about anything kind of thing. It was always like, we're working it up the chain of command, to Mark. He was never really a presence. Isn't that very strange when you think about it? So it was like this layered thing. And so a lot of them really quit. They said, we couldn't go on. We brought harms forward. Lawyers have worked at Meta. We saw what was happening. We couldn't ethically stay there. So, God bless them for stepping forward, stepping out, that we have this proof. And we have all this now, that we could even get to this point of going to a court. Now, it's slated to be a 6 to 8 week trial where we will be starting week 4. We've had some doctors also testifying. We've had Mark Zuckerberg. We had Adam Mosseri, who runs Instagram. He's the head of Instagram for Meta. Everybody knows Meta's Facebook and Instagram. Meta's the company. I thought it was so obnoxious. I don't know if you caught wind of this one. When Mark Zuckerberg arrived at court, the parents, they wear their children on their T-shirts and they hold signs. And he walked in with his entourage, including Homeland Security. Did you know that? He was
Homeland Security?
Yes.
Why is Homeland Security?
I don't know. I can't get to the bottom of that one. But they were there, and his own security team and lawyers, it was we'll call it an entourage. That's what it was. I don't know if anybody saw that. But they had the nerve to wear Meta sunglasses. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Now,
listen to this. Remember the old Google Glass was the one that was discontinued, but similar to that.
And it's interesting because now I'm digressing a bit, but I keep walking past, going to a meeting I go to every week, this one particular eyeglass store here in New York City. And they have a huge poster of one of the Jenners. Not Kylie. Oh, I forgot her name. The other one that's a model. I forgot her name. Yes, one of the Jenners.
It's got to be with a K.
Kardashian. It is. It's Kylie. Oh, goodness. I can't remember her
Christy?
name. No, she's the model one in the family. And it's this huge poster. It's the whole window. It's been there now for a few months where she's wearing the Meta sunglasses, which are put out in conjunction with Ray-Ban. I mean, frankly, when they did this, I got rid of my Ray-Bans. I just put them away. I don't want them anymore. And I just keep staring at it every week when I walk by. And it says, come in for your Meta glasses. I digress. But anyway, they go into court. Many of his entourage were wearing Meta. Now, the Meta sunglasses, if you're not familiar, Kendall, that's it. Kendall, thank you, April. I should know it, but you know what? It's the end of the day and a lot's going on.
I'm glad we don't know this right off the bat.
It's KK, Kendall Kardashian. But anyway, I don't know if you have to scroll down at all, or I guess we're good.
We're good.
wearing the Meta. Now, going into court, these Meta sunglasses, they are able to pick up, what do you know about them? Because they're basically like a computer, right? So
No, they pick up everything, just like Google Glass. They're voices, pictures
Yes.
of victims, pictures of people testifying, hearing.
What about the judge went crazy from what
Good.
I am told and let them have it, saying you are, outing the jury. We don't know. How dare you? Really laid into them. And what
And
they
they never even got permission ahead of time.
They just acted dumb. Now, I'm sorry. He's probably got the most expensive, doesn't mean they're the best, lawyers going, his team, his entourage. They know better than to walk in wearing Meta. Then I'm like, you know what? Because these people have no soul, don't care, rule the roost, get away with things. Thank you, Three Hearts, for being a new member. That's a reminder, everybody. Members. We need to build. We need to build what we're talking about here, so people can understand what's happening and take action, like in their own home and with themselves as well. But then I thought to myself, because they have no soul, because they're allowed to get away with everything, these big tech people, these elitists, these ruling the roost people, as I constantly say, this guy Zuckerberg probably thought, now I don't know this, you know what? This will be a great marketing thing for me. We're wearing, and the judge will probably, because they got to be smart, these people. They got to have something going on. The lawyer, somebody in that group. And I thought, you know what? He doesn't care. It'll be a marketing thing. Yeah, they'll get yelled at, whatever, fined maybe. I don't know what they do in the courts.
Right.
But then everybody in the press will be talking about it. But obviously, I don't know. Did a lot of people talk about it? I'm talking about it because I thought the nerve. And then I thought, you know what? That soulless person and those people around Mark Zuckerberg, because they just don't care. That hurts me to say it. Use this as a marketing opportunity, and everybody in the press, or some press, was picking up on it, and they think any press is good press. But going into a courtroom where a jury is, and also with everything going on, what the judge looks like and all that is.
And they most probably had gag orders. They probably had information as you don't want family members to necessarily be outed. This is traumatic.
Right.
Cases of this particular sensitivity. So they knew damn well what they were doing. I'm surprised nobody went to jail.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I don't think there were any repercussions other than the judge went ballistic, as those were the words told to me from those in the courtroom. So we have that going on. But now we have maybe 4 more weeks of this and various testimony. What do you think? Where do you think this will go, in your opinion, as the best lawyer?
Well, the first thing is they're going to try to get past a motion for either a directed verdict. The plaintiff puts on their case at first. The court then the plaintiff rests. They rest their case. They say that's it. The court then is asked, is there enough information here, enough proof to provide a prima facie case to even go to a jury for consideration, or to allow or to force the defense to even respond? 99% of the time, the motion for a directed verdict is denied, goes right to the defense to put on their case. Remember, what makes this so different is that they were told specifically, we've got a problem. What if you put something on a product that was benign, seemingly benign, and you found out that kids were swallowing it, or the pieces were too small, or maybe that when you put this particular type of toy in a baby's mouth, which your babies are wont to do, let's say there was something toxic in the paint which caused convulsions, and you knew about this, you knew about it, and you didn't do anything, you let it happen. Think about what that means. Think about the notion of that. It is
crazy. Think about that.
But this is where juries and judges, don't be surprised if there's punitive damages, which are damages above and beyond the actual case. This is huge. They are watching this.
But here's the other thing. Mm-hmm. Right now, there's also, first of all, there are thousands of court cases pending. They're watching this case to see where it goes across the United States. On one of my meetings, it was yesterday, Friday, it was pointed out that there are enough cases for 6 months straight to go into the courts, but they're watching this right now. But also at the same time, New Mexico has opened up a lawsuit against Roblox. So there's a case there, Roblox being a gaming site that millions of kids are on, right? It sounds kind of cool. They're coding, they're building games, one of the most popular, and the harms there. Because as usual, wherever the kids are, so are the predators. There's no real age verification going on Roblox. Therefore, you have the adults posing as kids, interacting with children, and their usual playbook, which everybody needs to know about, is they get the kids to, go into the DMs, the direct messaging and all that. And that's where all of this predation really begins. But they first groom the child, playing games. The child thinks they're with another gamer, child their age, and it's really that adult. So there's that, which is very important because we have more apps popping up every single day. We work with a lot of great tech people, a lot of ethical tech people. Like we at the Warriors are pro-tech. I don't want anybody to ever get the idea we live in a digital world. This is it. It's not going away. This is the reality. We love it. We're talking to each other right now, right? But we have to find some sort of guardrails for children and not so we have that going on in New Mexico. And then in Washington State, there was another case ready to go. So the thing is, where do you think, because this is too easy if they have internal memos right now, this is an LA Superior Court.
That's what's going to kill him.
But Mark Zuckerberg strides in like he doesn't have a worry in the world. They're all wearing their Meta sunglasses, which is such a slap in the face to these mothers. They told me that was the single most disturbing thing for them, to see the Meta sunglasses.
But
it shows there's no remorse. And actually his testimony, which I could have written the whole thing in the playbook. I knew exactly what he was saying.
Now, if they had glasses as smart as yours.
Well,
do you see the specs?
Well, thank you. But what I wanted to say about this is he basically, he's always acting Mark Zuckerberg like kind of, flustered, kind of like, ooh, like he got a little bit shocked.
Very spectrum-y.
And I want everybody to know he is on record, as is Peter Thiel.
Palantir.
Saying, Peter Thiel just announced again, because I went back and looked, he also said this in July of 2024, his kids, he has 2 children, are only allowed 1.5 hours a week online supervised. A week supervised. Zuckerberg said his children are basically not on any social media. So if you out there listening can share this, why these are the ones making billions and trillions of dollars, zillions, I don't even know how much money. They are the ones running amok in Washington right now. Interestingly enough, like Zuckerberg, he's leaving California, right? And he's moving to Florida. Okay. They're all leaving because of business and taxes and that wealth tax and all that, but that's beside the point. They're not allowing their own children on these platforms, but it's good enough for the American people and the American kids. So I have to say, if that's just that one point to understand all of this, but what he said on the stand for 8 hours, as he was grilled, as they put it, we have safety measures. They don't ever call it addictive, which is the basis of this case, that the product is addictive. They'll say problematic use. And, where are the parents? And I want to point something out right now, because I get this on a daily basis. I am tired of people saying to me, it's the parents' fault. I am so tired of that one. I don't want to hear it, because I think we all know about parental autonomy. I think we all know some parents could do a better job, be more aware, understand. I think we all know that. Stop blaming the parents. This is a defective, addictive product. And we're talking about Meta right now, but I'm talking about all of the big tech platforms. They're all the same, okay? We talked about Roblox, all the gaming apps. Everything is to get the child hooked, addicted, make money off of them, right? Run ads, okay? So stop blaming parents. This has been thrown into their laps with no explanation. This has been, people are trying to live their lives. It's overwhelming.
And let me also, by the way,
don't blame these parents. And that's what these big tech, you out there who are doing that, blame these big tech zillionaires who did this and they're not being stopped, okay? Blame those people. Don't put it on everyday Americans who are busy trying to pay their bills, live their lives, take care of kids. That is not fair.
By the way, there is
E says it.
yeah.
Roblox is a Nana's nightmare.
By the way, remember a couple of things. Make sure you listen to her on Warrior Wednesdays on WABC. Right. She's the hit. But also there was a thing we talked about this week about gambling, young people being turned on to gambling. And people are saying, well, it's the parents' fault and parents' fault. So anyway, I want to go into
well, you didn't really explain the gambling.
Wait a minute. There are devices. They're the Super Bowl. They're trying to entice and lure young people, young boys in particular, to gamble, to wager, and to get around. You're not supposed to be able to wager money, but you do.
But you check off a box like I'm of age.
Right.
Like there's
and kids are using their parents' credit cards. And anyway, so I want to go into anybody here. If there's anybody here who is an obsessive or a compulsive gambler, I want to go into a Gamblers Anonymous, a GA meeting, and say, excuse me. By the way, some people say this is not addictive, or that you should blame the parents. Whom should I blame in your case? And people would say, damn right, this is addictive. That's why we're here. You don't have to smoke something or inject something for it to be addictive. They want it to be addictive. They count on it. They plan on it. This is not a mistake. I want you to understand and grasp this. This is not a joke. Whatever you thought, look, you may have been the days when we were playing Missile Command or Frogger or Pac-Man or Mrs. Pac-Man or Pong.
Pac-Man.
Those days, pinball machines. Those days are gone. This is neurologically rewiring kids. And that's what we're talking about.
And let me break it down even further. This is evil. This is also the destruction of what better to destroy a country is you go after the youth, you go after the kids. And I want to go back. I want everybody should go back and look at my interview with Chris Papps from Baltimore's Fox 45. He spent 8 years. He's an investigative reporter, journalist, researching what's going on in the Baltimore school system. Now, you may say, Baltimore, I don't live there, I don't care. His book, Failure Factory, it applies to all school boards, school systems, towns, cities across America. I urge you to look at that because even I did not know certain things working with schools, knowing about schools, about the monies and the budgets. For instance, he was pointing out, I want you to go back. It's right there. I just put that up. It's up there recently. For instance, the city of Baltimore, it's basically a bottom line of keep passing the kids along because we make money from each child. So they can't read, they can't write, they can't do any math, whatever. Everybody's failing in Baltimore, but they just pass them right through. And even in his report, he says he spoke to a lot of teachers. 8 years he spent doing this. And it's not even the teachers, it's the higher ups. It's almost like a cartel, a mob or something, this Board of Education. And they would change grades on the teachers in the final grade for a student. They would go in and just change grades on these teachers who had no say about anything. A lot of good teachers quit due to all of this. These are things we don't know. They go in and change the grade books. Not only that, lots of kids, they don't go after them when they're absent. They can go 1 day a year to school. That's it. And they get money for every day the rest of the year of the school. Did you know that? I didn't know that. I thought we had like truant officers. Remember in the old days?
Oh, please.
Okay, but still, but I'm just saying 1 day a year and the monies are for the rest of the year. And also, and I'll leave you with this because I'm fascinated with this because again, it applies across America what's happening. Baltimore last year hired into this new budget 10,200 new school, they call them employees. Now you'd say, oh my God, that's great. Teachers' aides, new teachers, librarians, employees. That is the key word. It's all administration. 10,200. So think about the fraud here, right?
Horrid.
Think about why they allowed to get away with this.
Horrid.
So these Board of Eds can be very criminal is what I'm trying to say.
By the by, here's some good news. I'm supposed to tell you something. This is from Gigi, says, love you all, always, Lynn and Lionel. I still have a Lionel mug from my original days with your hubby's podcast. Then I became a Lynn's warrior. There you go. Feel the love.
Thank you.
I
do feel it. I should stop for a minute. We should acknowledge everybody. It means the world to us that you follow along, you listen, you join us. It's like family. Remember when we started?
Oh, yeah.
It was very, like grassroots. I mean, it still is. But
let me also tell you something. Do you know how many people owe me an apology, and probably you too and us, for all the stuff that we said 10 years ago or more, that all of a sudden now is true and we know it's true? Anybody apologizing to you? Anybody? Huh? I don't think so.
No, nobody's
We're going
apologizing.
to make them eat their words.
But I want to get back on this trial because nobody understands. Zuckerberg had his fun. Now he's going to exile along with Fauci and Gates. And well, here's what I want to say about that. I don't like saying this, but I have this gut feeling, and you know my gut's usually pretty right.
Yep.
Right. Facebook, Instagram, all these sites, right? They've been around a long time. The focus now is on AI, artificial intelligence. Mark Zuckerberg himself has invested billions upon billions upon billions of dollars. That is their focus. My greatest fear is that they don't care. Kids are collateral damage. They've actually been referred to as collateral damage. So we'll pay out a couple of $1 billion in lawsuits and make everybody go away and people will get money and be happy because their focus really is AI and all that. So this is kind of a distraction. This is what I think. Does that make sense to you?
Absolutely.
And remember, money talks. I can't think of one thing I've worked on where money didn't sway somebody. For instance, and I had this conversation today with somebody, they could be working hard on a piece of legislation and they're for the kids and they're for their families. And then all of a sudden they flip. Now, I know probably.
What do you mean flip? What does that mean?
All of a sudden they quiet down. They're no longer supporting it. They're not out there talking about it. And it's happened to a lot of them. I'm talking both Republicans and Democrats, right? Because what we work on in the Warriors, truly bipartisan, right? Doesn't belong to a political party, even though we talk about Washington and a lot of state capitals. And I've seen somebody work so hard to be so supportive. And then all of a sudden they're quiet and they go away. You don't hear about them. And we have so many, for instance, Mark Zuckerberg employs one lobbyist per 6 members of Congress. Okay. That's what he does. We at the Warriors, we don't have lobbyists, walking around. You're looking at me who goes and rallies and advocates for families and kids and for you out there. So money talks. I can only imagine. Do I know it for a fact? No. But somehow they're promised stock. They're given monies. They're given, because remember, once you leave Congress, what are you going to do with yourself, right?
Look at our good. Look at 3 hearts over here. 3 hearts. Super sticker. 3 hearts.
Thank you, 3 hearts.
Bless your heart. Thank you.
3 hearts. Bless your heart. Bless your heart in the good way. We
Yes.
and I'm wearing a heart. Okay.
Yes.
My heart sweater. My heart sweater.
It's like your Laverne and.
That's it. My Laverne and Shirley. Remember Laverne and Shirley? Laverne had her L on her sweaters. We date ourselves, honey. But I where do you think? Do you agree with what I just said? Where do you think we have we could have 2 to 4 more weeks of this trial? Where do you think this will end up?
Settlement. There's no way. I don't think they want to go. They're going to see as far as they can go. Let's see if they can get it to a jury. If it passes directed verdict, they'll settle. By the way, look at this. Our good friend Mr. Mike said something interesting. He said it seems AI issues in the music industry dealing with copyright is where real people are facing the first terminators. Rick, changing the subject, just to let you know, when you talk about AI, Rick Beato is a great section. What he's done about, they've created music that is, there's something right now that on Spotify, an AI person, whatever, who has some of the best music. It's great music. It's changing everything. There will not be any part of the world that is not affected by this. Sometimes for the good, sometimes for the better. Sometimes it doesn't, but I don't, music is one thing and the writing and the arts is one thing. Children is another. I'm also going to tell you that one of these days they're going to take pictures of people. I've been saying this for so long. They're going to take pictures of kids that are not real, but they might as well be. And they're going to be so horrible that when you're seeing this for the first time, it doesn't matter whether a child is seeing a real picture or an AI picture. You can't tell the difference today. And so what did they say? What are they going to say? You can't prosecute me. That's not real. It's artistic. It's a rendition. Yeah. And I've been saying this. And this is going to be a copyright issue, but also a matter of what does the law say? The law prohibits you from exploiting children. So we want you to be aware of this, to pay attention, and know what kind of work she does. She is constantly working. And some people, by the way, some people that you and I may absolutely despise 99% of the time are 100% in your favor when it comes to kids. People that that you may not like their politics, Democrats especially, when it comes to kids, are fantastic.
Okay, well, that's another thing I want to point out. We at the Warriors, we go wherever there is good work being done. I like to point that out because people give me a lot of flack about it. It's not this side or that side. Okay?
It's nonpartisan. That's
for
what your
instance,
organization.
AOC. Am I a fan? No, I'm really not. Okay. She is, a New Yorker. We're New Yorkers. She did incredible work along with Nancy Mace on the Defiance Act. Okay. And
what is that?
You will be held to bottom line it, right? Is you will be held responsible if you don't take down images. It goes all into that kind of, again, it's going into people putting out videos, almost like revenge porn that the public, I hate saying that, but Defiance Act. Okay. Now they brought in Paris Hilton. And when I was posting about it and applauding it, oh, Paris Hilton, and she did this tape years ago and that tape.
Who cares?
I don't care what somebody did 20 years ago. Paris Hilton right now, believe it or not, first of all, we all grow and change, right? She's in her 40s now. She's 44, 45 years old, right? I don't care what you did as a kid or a young person, whether you like it or not. Okay? It doesn't matter. We're in the present. We're now. Okay, her presence on Capitol Hill, sorry. They all come, to the session. They all vote on everything.
She gets attention.
And she gets tremendous media, even though that's sad. Okay. And as does AOC. That's just what goes on. And so if they're able to get past a good piece of bipartisan legislation, then the Warriors support it and we're there. But I can't tell you the hateful comments I got because I posted about a good piece of legislation that could potentially help. Now, my concern with all of this is that these pieces of legislation are then enforced because I know New York State is a leader, believe it or not, in child safety legislation, in bills. Governor Kathy Hochul has passed law. We have bell to bell in the classrooms, meaning no cell phones in the schools. Bell to bell.
And she is
other. I'm sorry.
I don't. But she's a horrible governor. But she's right about that.
New York State is really a leader in a lot of child. There's an AI bill that is tremendous. It's one or two states in the country. But my fear is these things have to be enforced. Like that's the problem.
Yeah.
That's the problem I'm seeing. So it's great to have a bill. It's great to have PR.
And one more, I just want to say something. One more, and you've got to be so careful. This is so ridiculous. The amount of care we have to use for you in particular regarding that Epstein feller.
Well, I want to talk about him for a few minutes. You want to talk about him?
Yeah, but I'm going to say it right now. This is one of the biggest things that has happened. And embrace it and be thankful that people are paying attention for the first time because he has opened up more. People are paying attention. Why now? I don't know. We've been talking about it forever. I know. But for whatever reason, thank God people are paying attention now because he has grabbed people and made them aware of what's going on. Thank God. Because, and let me also tell you, you don't even know the half of it. You don't know how dark and how horrible it is. We could tell you things that will blow your mind. Couple of areas. He's one. You may not be interested, but the story of Nancy Guthrie is when you consider how they abandoned her, incompetence. And another story is, this may be of no interest to you, but I'm fascinated. Wait until you see what happens. This isn't for you. I'm just filling you in.
Yikes.
This fight that's going on between Erica Kirk, the Charlie people, TPUSA, and Candace or whatever. There are so many. What I'm saying is everyone feeds, and Prince Andrew. It all feeds in. And do you know what the theme is of all of these? Liars and phonies and imposters. That's the bottom line. That's why cable news is dying. That's why people love this. What we're doing right now cannot be replicated on any kind of cable news or can't do it because they're too interested in the way they look. And you can tell my looks are critical. I spend so much time. This means my hair looks like Keith Richards. But the point is, this is it. This is real. This is real, and this is the most important thing in the world. Thanks to people like you.
Okay, I got a couple of comments. Wait, don't make me laugh. I just never talk about Erica Kirk because I just don't.
It's beneath you.
It's not beneath me.
But
it's
not me.
It's not that. I am going to share something. I just don't know anybody who likes her. And I'm not going around talking about her, but people have said things to me, or people are like, what do you think of her? Or I don't know her. I'm trying not to be judgy, but like, I don't know. When I kept hearing like Charlie was sleeping on couch surfing and all that, and then I saw they live in like this mansion. Then this is just me saying this. And then Erica is wearing these very expensive, all these gold rings on her hands. I mean, I would be hiding if this happened to my husband. I would be sobbing my eyes out. I would be inconsolable. I know everybody grieves differently. I know
And to
all that
take a
stuff,
picture
but I'm not coming out in a
over
glitzy.
the body
No, I'm not.
of your husband,
Well,
so that people can what?
That's exactly right. When I saw that,
that did it for me. That was
I
it.
said, that's it. And wearing sequin pantsuits, and that's me. No. And my, you know what? Charlie did a great thing. He was getting all these young people motivated and bringing them together and discussing everything, whether you liked them, you didn't like them. He's bringing people together. Like young people, we have studies. Young people are looking for a place to land. And so for me, and I was not a follower, we knew who Charlie Kirk was, but I wasn't following and listening and all that. But when he was taken away, that lost it for the young people. He was it. And nobody's going to replace him. She can't replace him. These other people he works with. I'm upset that
and to a lot of young people, that was their John Lennon and John F. Kennedy. That was the first assassination they've ever been. That was critical.
But we all saw that in real time, right? And that is shocking for young people to witness, whether it's on their phone, whether they saw it actually on a TV, they were there in person, they witnessed. So now Charlie's gone. And I really think that movement will not last without him, and she, whatever. But I want to talk about this Epstein. You said that you don't know why people are talking about it now. Well, the talk has been going on, right? Since what, 2018, 20 sort of. But we did get some of the files. Right. I'll say some because I believe there's so much missing.
Oh, yeah.
Videos, recordings, because as told to me by people in the know, everything was wired for sound, for constant recording. That's just in all of those chambers of horror. I can't call them homes or anything like that. But we did get some. And especially in this last dump, as they call it. And that whole thing was handled so incorrectly. We had all this information years ago because of women who came forward, who were either girls or young women at the time, who said this was happening, who said, go to Zorro Ranch and look for this. Go to the island, this is happening. They went to police. They went to FBI. They had testimony. And nothing was ever done. Now there's a push, more files, right? And you can see the communications. And we're not even seeing, we're seeing the tip of the iceberg, I think.
And that poor Virginia Giuffre. Nobody's really,
I don't understand why nobody ever.
I would get Kash Patel on a jet so fast and say, I want you to grab your good raid jacket, go to Australia. You tell them they'll be held to pay. I want to know everything. I want to have pictures, talk screens, lab results. I want to see witnesses. I want to see the Emmy. I want to know everything. I don't believe for a moment she offers up. She was so happy then. Remember, she was talking about.
Well, I don't know about that because she had a lot of trauma. Okay, this I do know.
But right before that, she was talking about how she was going to add on to her house.
But that's the thing. She was very devoted to her children, and so I think as a mother that would have. And that whole thing, she was in a bus hit her or something in a car, and they put out that image of her, which I'm like, is that an AI image? Like, and then a few days later,
I thought it was a morgue shot.
It looked posed. And then she was gone a few days later. She took it back. She said it was a private photo, and I put it up. But here's the thing: I'm hurt that even in this movement of all of this, nobody's like demanding answers of like what really happened to her. Okay, even her family that's been in the media lately, her brother and his wife, like demanding like what happened. But even the Epstein, like people talk about it, demanding what happened, what really happened to him. Okay. and so, but everybody's kind of forgotten Virginia. I guess we're still asking about Epstein.
Do you believe Tyler Robinson acted alone? Vote 1 for yes, 2 for no. Do you believe Tyler Robinson? And if you didn't act, if you don't even believe he was involved in it, that's another one too. Do you believe for a moment? Do you believe that for a moment? This guy? Come on. Here's Fred. Fred, where the hell have you been?
Fred's sleeping.
Fred.
He just woke up.
Fred.
He's late. Late to
What do we have to do? Fred, please.
Thank you, Fred. Thank you, Fred,
did
for
we
being
wake
here.
you?
Fred woke
We
up.
were here
Fred's-
waiting. I said, don't worry, he'll be here.
Fred
Oh,
apologized. It's all okay.
No.
Welcome,
Fred. Look at this, Fred.
So here's the thing. I don't understand how people, they're so fascinated by this Nancy Guthrie case. I mean, hanging on every thread. Can't get enough of it. We've got more ex-FBI security people on these news programs. It's the same information over and over. Billboards in 5 states for Nancy Guthrie. Everybody focused on this. But they don't do that for Virginia Giuffre. Like they don't put that same energy. They don't do it for any missing kids. I'm sorry. I pray the woman's found and she's okay. It's awful. It's horrible, right? It's even more horrible with technology and all these law enforcement. Like they can't find anything, really? Okay. But what about all the kids? Like what? That same attention should be put and resources. And I'm not kidding. Because this is probably in the who knows what. This will go into hundreds of millions of dollars for just all of this. Onto children that go missing every second of every day. And nobody's talking about them. And anything you see online, I try to put every day missing kids. Maybe somebody will see or hear something or know something, right? I try to tell them where to call, 1-800-THE-LOST, cybertipline.org. But nobody cares about the kids. Like, I don't understand. This is America.
You got me there.
No, but we should be saying our children, our precious kids, nobody's going to touch them. Nobody's going to steal them. Nobody.
One would think.
And I don't understand why we think kids are not important. I'm really not understanding it. I never will because of the things I work on and the attitudes.
So what about Lance Twiggs? That guy was supposedly very violent. Turkey Tom put out a video that gives insight into their relationship. I love the way
that guy.
Yeah, it's gay lover.
But I understand. But let's go back. If you want to go back on that for a minute, what is the first thing I said to you? I said when Charlie was out, which in an open air, campus, there wasn't security on the roof.
That's another story.
There was a parking lot open, no security in it, right behind. Like, what was that set up? We live in a world.
Can you believe also this guy, first time, 30-06, old, his grandfather's rifle, and people say, oh, it's an easy shot. My ass, it's an easy shot. Iron sights. He doesn't have any spotter. First time, first shot, taking into account all kinds of elevation. I mean, what? And then gets off, leaves the rifle wrapped up in a bush, calls his girlfriend or his gay lover and says, listen, do me a favor. That's granddaddy's shooting iron. He's going to get real mad at me. You're get mad at you for this? Can you go back and find it? Can you get risk your life and detection? I mean, the story doesn't make any sense. None of it. And by the way, Lance Twiggs, gone. Nothing. Nothing. Don't get me started. No. And as far as I'm concerned, don't buy the green bananas. Because if you don't think they will him, you're not. You know who else is not? Who I'd be very careful of is Prince Andrew. Ooh.
I'm actually surprised.
You see that picture of him?
He's still around, frankly.
See that picture of him in the car? I was on Sean Atwood today. All we did was laugh at that picture. It's the word red eye. And that Fergie.
She's been a dirty.
She's dirty.
Well, she was.
Yes, by the pool with the banker.
No, that you said it, not me. I can't really repeat that. And then she'll for X amount of dollars. Remember that? That could have been 15, 20 years ago. She'll sell secrets to the monarch.
Yeah.
And then now in the Epstein files, like it's hard for me to even say that. I mean, she's intimating she's marrying him and bringing her daughters. They've always been rumors about the daughters with him.
Oh,
and
yeah.
all this stuff. And how did the daughters live this extravagant lifestyle when they're making approximately $28,000 a year? Okay. But they're jetting off and all this skiing and just all kinds of exorbitant stuff. But the bubble's bursting. But of course now,
But not with us. Isn't she great?
Well, our bubble burst together. We're one
Anyway.
bubble. Yeah, we're very lucky. We're very lucky.
Luckiest man in the world.
But let's just focus
It's true.
Epstein for a minute. I don't want to laugh when I say that.
Oh, we can have a little laugh.
Yeah.
Come on. They're family. You're family.
Yeah, it's a Saturday night. We should have a little laugh. This is all heavy
It's Saturday
stuff.
night. They ain't got nobody.
This is
It's
heavy stuff.
supposed to
And we're
snow.
gonna
Pray
get-
for it. You got a nor'easter.
Well, as a matter of fact, I just got an urgent alert from AOC
Oh,
that said we're expecting 12 to 17 inches of snow. Turn your refrigerator to the highest setting
Why?
in case electricity goes out.
Oh, okay.
So your food will stay. Actually, it makes sense.
Oh, yeah.
Don't put heaters near like curtains. I mean, I guess they have to keep
For the
warning
first
people.
time, she's concerned.
Keep them 3 feet away from curtain. Make sure you have your supplies, and at least it's something
Yeah.
for people who aren't focused like we are on things like that. But you know what I say about the blizzard? I'll believe it when I see it, because
Yeah.
they are wrong with all this
Oh,
technology so
absolutely.
often. And what do I have to do? I look out the window over to New Jersey, over the Hudson River, and I can determine.
She always can tell, and she always
And
can
I'm right.
smell snow.
That's right. I'd be
way
like, it
before.
smells like snow. That's it. But
Smells like Teen Spirit.
smells like.
Right.
But
All right. honey.
listen, I just wanted to say to you, so we'll keep an eye on the trial. We'll be filling you in, from the Warriors. I know, so cute. And we have to keep talking about Epstein, I think.
We shall.
What do you think? Or do you think the public is so worn out, they don't care about these people with power and money? They're exhausted
what?
from it.
Can
What
I
do you
say
think?
something? Forget the public. We know. There's more of us than them. The public doesn't care. The public, they don't care about anything. We know. We're not stopping. And thanks to Elon Musk, just read X or the Twitter. Oh my God.
Do you know he is single-handedly has paid the most taxes of any individual in the United States? It's true. It's true. I just want to throw that fact in.
He
But
blows my mind. I think he's terrific. So anyway, dear heart.
I just want to leave everybody with, keep an eye on Naomi Campbell. I'll just say that.
Oh, she's she's a witch.
I've been saying that for years.
She's
and
a witch.
years and
like
years.
Marina Abramovich.
And she's another one. That
We're
one.
going to say hi. Thank Three Hearts.
Yes,
and
thank you, Three Hearts.
Three Hearts. And by the way, Lori Lewis.
Lori Lewis is a champ.
Lori Lewis is the best. Aces.
And
Aces.
But I just want to say something before we leave. We work with a wonderful group, the Wonder Girls. It's girls in middle, high school, and now it's 5 years old now. Some of them are going to college. They're real warriors. It's about our youth. It's really about empowering them, being mentors to them, giving them attention, the appropriate attention. There's so much crap. But I want to leave everybody with hope, because we have a lot of parents. We have a group called Parents Rise across the United States, parents stepping up.
You also want to mention that great other group you're dealing with women, young girls?
Which group is that?
The one that when you joined this affair.
The Wonder Girls.
Wonder
I'm
Girls,
talking
yeah.
about the Wonder Girls, but I'm pointing out there's a lot of hope, despite what we're sitting here and talking about. It seems all overwhelming. And I gave a pep talk to a group today because it is overwhelming, right? And I said, you're allowed to feel overwhelmed for a day and take a break, and you get back on tomorrow and you start working on your things. But the Wonder Girls, it's an after-school program, but they empower each other we give them the tools to, we go in, we do finance, teaching them about finances, teaching them about, for instance, we work with the Warriors with the DEA. We're bringing in women DEA agents, and also those who work in the chem lab.
She is so close with the DEA now. And by the way,
Best.
the DEA
Best.
from the 70s, you would think, wait a minute, those are the narcs. Remember that stuff? Not anymore.
No,
It's fentanyl. It's saving lives. Those days are over. Everything has changed. God, and the greatest is your friend, the New York,
Frank Tarantino,
the best, who was with. Let's face it. When they got Maduro, He was there.
Yeah, he was walking him in. Frank Tarantino, who now has a fancy new title, he used to be special agent in charge in New York. Now he's something like Eastern Seaboard. He has a new title. Frank has never turned me down. So busy with the DEA for anything, including coming to the Wonder Girls safety expo we had, and drove himself, to a school auditorium, right in New York State. And he's like, no, I'm here. I'm here for the kids. I'm a father.
He's great.
Nothing. He supports us. But I want to say about the DEA, they have a lot of wonderful jobs for women that work in the labs there. And so we want to show the girls, most of these girls, very vulnerable communities, home life, right? You can have a future. Here is something, with benefits, and you can learn and go to school if you choose, or just work here. They will help you. So there's a lot of good out there. Parents Rise, they are getting kids. Remember I shared with you, I also did a video across the country. You do not have to use technology in your classroom. You as a parent have the right to opt out your child, even though schools will tell you you can't opt out.
What's it called? Paper and pencil?
They call it pen to paper.
Pen to paper.
Okay. What you have to do though, because they'll say to you, they'll scare parents. They'll say, oh, no, we do all of our assignments online. We don't do that. You have to understand. Go to the Warriors, look this up, linswarriors.org. You can say, I want it on paper. Now, here's the good news. This has been going on for about a year quietly. Teachers like the paper, and kids are starting to be like, I want a packet of paper. I don't want to have to go online and do my homework. And a lot of kids, if they don't have an issued Chromebook from a school, or they lose it and they don't get a replacement, poor kids are trying to do homework on a phone. It's like, can you imagine trying to do homework on a phone? Impossible, right? And this movement is growing. It's called pen to paper, and parents themselves are teaching other parents how to do this. We put a toolkit on the Warriors website, and it's really like growing. Little pods are educating each other. 4 parents will get together, teach 4 other, and they're going to the schools. They're trying to go with 2 or 3 other parents. That's it. It is exploding.
Listen to this. We're going to end with this. Tell them the story about the cursive. This will blow your mind.
I don't know where to start, except a very bright person, major university, you would all know, was told by the professor. Well, there's a few different stories, but here's 2 of them. You can't write in cursive because I don't understand you. This is at a very prestigious.
The professor
who was in their 30s
can't read cursive.
Right. You're confusing me and was nasty, and stop it, or you're going to, I don't think I even told you this, but it occurred to me the other day. I remember this person told me this, or I'm going to have to drop your grade. I never told you that, but I remember it just came to me. This person
They
told
can't write cursive.
The teacher, the professor didn't understand it. And then I'm like, how old was this person? And this person said, well, like in their 30s. Okay. Then the other thing was, a person was told, do not write in cursive because you're causing anxiety to other students because they don't understand cursive. They are confused and you're causing this, and it's your fault. And that was...
Here's one for you. A friend of mine who teaches in an elementary school said, no one knows how to use an analog clock.
Yeah,
digital.
That's another one.
Analog clock. We are doomed.
We're not doomed because...
No, we're doomed. Doomed.
We're not doomed because we have to have hope. We have to take care of the kids. We have to keep fighting. We have to keep educating and raising awareness. And look at Frank Tarantino, DEA, believes in the Warriors, believes in our youth empowerment, Wonder Girls. We have good people doing good things. You got to know about them. You don't hear about them a lot.
Yep.
But I want everybody to know a lot of kids are pushing back. A lot of parents are pushing back. You're pushing back because you're listening to this. And I love you.
I love you too.
For joining me.
All right.
Us.
All right, dear friends.
Everybody should have a great night.
Pray for us.
Thank you, Lori. Thank
it's gonna
you.
be yes,
3 hearts.
It's gonna be snowing like a mofo.
Well, pray for us. I'll tell you why. Because the last snowstorm, the snow is still out there because they didn't even plow several of the side streets.
Because we have this commie rat bastard, this Marxist lunatic mayor. In any event, we love you. Thank you. Any final out cues?
I say everybody should go take a break on a Saturday night, if it is indeed Saturday night where you are, and just relax your minds, do something fun, and love each other. And thank you for being here.
Ta-ta.